Illinois, one of the teams hoping the Buckeyes stubbed their toe here down the stretch, and then the Illini could have their third straight Big Ten championship. So a lot at stake. Also looking at momentum. Illinois has split their last 6 games, 3-3. Going into March, you want to feel good about yourself. And of course, the conference tournament seedings and the NCAA tournament seedings all at stake. And Minnesota playing good basketball as of late. A tough place here at Williams Arena.
A couple pretty good stars for you folks to watch at home tonight. Dee Brown, of course, the ever exciting guard for the Fighting Illini. And Vincent Greer, his last game. What a 2-year run he's had here with the Golden Gophers. And our starting lineup tonight, Coach Munson will start a senior lineup. All 5 seniors, Boone, Hargrove, Greer, Pucktel, and Stamper, closing out their home careers for Minnesota, barring, of course, an NIT home game. Dee Brown will be joined by McBride, Randall, Augustine, and Pruitt. So here is Coach Dan Munson over on the sideline. And after a frigid January, this team came alive at home in February, and they've been pretty tough to deal with. However, look at the Illinois. 0-13, and Bruce Weber hopes to continue it here tonight with the Fighting Illini. Illinois comes in a rare road favorite in the Big Ten. They're favored by a couple of buckets, and he is 18-7 in road games with the Illini.
Pace and tempo very important tonight, Brent. The Illini want to force the tempo off their smothering, stingy pressing defense. They like to get out in the open court. Minnesota wants to make sure this is a half-court game.
3 of our favorite officials are here tonight. Coach Eddie Hightower's our referee. Ted Hillary and Steve Wilmer will be our umpires. We'll see Hightower and Hillary next week in Indianapolis at the Big Ten Conference Tournament in Conseco. What a great venue that will be for the tournament. Underway now, and the Illini control the tap. Here comes Dee Brown.
And their motion offense, they run some quick hitters, some sets, but it's their offensive spacing that makes them so tough. They move the ball, look for one another as well as any team in the Big Ten.
They reset as Pruitt did not get the trigger pull. Zone defense here by the Gophers to start it. McBride finds an open spot in the zone and knocks down the 2 in the Orange Crush. They've traveled for a road game, and the furthest they've gone.
Boy, they travel well. When did they get to study at Illinois? They got the full course load of classes.
Here's Greer handling now against Randall. Augustine against Pucktel. Pucktel, an amazing story that we're going to tell you about tonight. When he became a starter for the Gophers, it helped turn things around. Stampier couldn't score the game's first field goal, and the Illini coming back. Wide open Pruitt. Flushes the first deuce of the game.
That's what makes James Augustine so difficult to match up with. He runs the floor well. He's comfortable on the perimeter. He is a playmaker, like the hub of the wheel. The spokes surround him. It's a nice interior post pass.
Here's Greer, cut off Randall athletes in the Big Ten. Hargrove penetrates. Throws it in for the Gophers.
Minnesota on their first 2 possessions, Brent, looking to drive the ball. After swinging the ball, putting some touches on it, they've been able to get into the paint. When you pressure, as Illinois does, there are seams or gaps to drive the ball into.
So McBride and Pruitt have scored the first 2 field goals. So the Illini, Dee Brown tracks it down. Give it back to cutoff by Pucktel. Now 5 on the shot. Deals, fire a bomb. Offensive rebound. Pruitt digs it out.
A good choice by the big fella to bring the ball back out. The development of Pruitt and Brian Randall and Jamar Smith and Richard McBride, that's been the difference in this team late.
Weber has been signaling motion and yelling at his offense. This is an elevated floor here at the barn. Augustine, and offensive foul goes over Hillary
with the patient by Jason Stamper. Little dribble handoff. Augustine puts it on the deck. Stamper straight up vertically with the hands perpendicular to the ceiling of the old barn, Williams Arena. They built this one to last, Brent. Good foundation here.
It's a wonderful venue for college basketball. Knocked out of bounds and put a ball with 17 on the shot clock.
Illinois' team speed, a big part of their defensive arsenal. They do a nice job of moving their feet, active hands, tracing the ball, not allowing teams to window shop.
Steve, Brian Randall doing a terrific job on Greer in the early going. He just can't get any daylight, can't separate. Illini come back now.
Brian Randall reminds me a little bit of Stacey Augmon, Jerry Tarkanian's old running rebel, a defensive stopper, a left-hander.
You know, he's still playing in the NBA. He's the last one of that 90 championship team, and they're turning the corner. Another offensive foul has been called against the Illini. This one on Pruitt.
Player control foul 55, Sharp Pruitt.
Here's Puckdell. He hooked him.
Got the chicken wing out there, gaining advantage. Ted Hillary right on it. Advantage, disadvantage.
Puckdell doing the little things again, drawing that offensive foul. Not a score. Now here's Greer. Now he's got Dee Brown on him. Got into the paint and scored with his advantage, size advantage, Steve.
Nice job, the size advantage. Can't force those situations, but when they present themselves, why not?
Here's Pruitt, and one. Pruitt is hurting them. They're focusing the defense on Augustine, and Pruitt is getting position, coach, underneath.
Well, Augustine, a playmaker at 6'10", so poised on the perimeter, not forcing interior post passes, tremendous presence of mind, and the height to see over defenses to drop those dimes.
Yeah, Adam Boone has no chance down low, does he? Against
serious mismatch.
Checking in is Marcus Arnold out of Morgan Park High School, Chicagoland area. 6'8" forward, transferred to Champaign. Boone transferred from North Carolina. All 5 of these senior starters transferred into the university. Hargrove started here, went to Arkansas, and came back, and he knocks down the J.
Nice jump shot off the down screen in rhythm.
McBride. Augustine hands it back, and then he gets it left baseline and comes up short. Stampier rotated back for the rebound. Gophers can take the lead. The crowd very much into it here at the barn.
Good ball reversal by the Gophers. Putting touches on every possession, getting deeper into the clock.
On the free throw line. So we'll take a break, and then Vincent Greer will be shooting for the lead for the Gophers. 15:05 to go, a one-point game.
NCAA Women's Basketball Championship coming in March.
Junior Banana Split. Sonic's got it, others don't. The big taste of pineapple, chocolate, and strawberry in a smaller size, all for just 99 cents. Sonic's Junior Banana Split. And now swipe your credit or My Sonic card from your car, only at Sonic.
Hot dogs and soda at the game, $16. $22. Mints and a diet soda, $3.25. The new trick at the checkout line, priceless. For a whole new way to pay, MasterCard introduces PayPass. Amazingly faster and safer than cash.
What's the difference between 10:30 a.m. and 10:31 a.m.? 365,000 very obsessive people. UPS delivers more packages on time than anyone.
Gas meets electric. Slow emissions. You can drive 2 cars, or 1 without compromise. Introducing the luxury hybrid, the Lexus RX 400h. Gives more to the driver, takes less from the world.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Lexus and their passionate pursuit of perfection.
7-6, Illinois leads Minnesota early, and this telecast on ESPN is available on ESPN HD, presented by Dish Network. The third member of our broadcast team, Aaron Andrews, is here tonight, and let's check in with Aaron on senior night.
It certainly is. 5 guys for the Minnesota Gophers, and as we mentioned, one of them, Vincent Greer, and he told me before the game he is very excited for his 2 grandparents, Lizzie and Jerona Good, to be here tonight. They're coming all the way in from Charlotte, and the very interesting story about them is they, of course, raised Vincent by the time he was 5 years old. I asked his grandmother before the game, what is a memory, what is a thought she had, and she told me advice for this family to be here tonight. She said she had to quit her job when he was 5 years old because she wanted to be home. She wanted to be there when he came home from school. Brent, she was clutching her Kleenex in her hand when I came over to talk to her. This is about a half hour before tip-off, and she was already crying. So a great night for her.
Wonderful story, Aaron, and Lizzie will be watching here as Vincent Greer steps to the free throw line.
Vincent Greer is shooting 2.
He has 2 shots now. He can put Minnesota ahead. Steve?
You know, Brent, just building on the senior day theme, and as a coach, it was always a catch-22, a double-edged sword. Senior day and the emotion overflowed into the game and was disconcerting, a distraction to your team. Sometimes the seniors, because of the finality of it all, try a little too hard, try and carry the burden on their shoulders single-handedly, and you get away from your game plan. Other times, like a Hollywood script, it worked perfectly. So one of those catch-22s.
I think that Dee Brown and James Augustine may have felt that a little bit over the weekend down in Champaign with their final home game and all the success they've had with the maneuvering in, and the Illini regain the lead.
Arnold, a nice job inside, playing with a certain amount of pace. He attended Pete Newell's big man camp this past summer. Work on the footwork and the skills of a big man.
Spencer Tollickson has checked in for the Gophers, and Vincent Greer, somehow Greer got it to fall, scooping it in, and he'll be back on that free throw line. He could be off on a big against Randall.
Boy, Houdini-like in this escape from Brian Randall, a tough defender.
But that's 2 fouls on Randall, so Greer has him in early foul trouble, and Coach Weber has to make a decision. Lizzie's enjoying this.
Boy, Greer, a great scorer. Not necessarily a great shooter, but a knack for scoring. The ability off the bounce to get to the rim. Open court, tremendous finisher, and the opportune 3 when it presents.
So Randall will watch right now. Augustine right baseline, off iron. Greer wants the ball. He wants to go to work on McBride. He wants it to come over to the right-hand side. Augustine sees it and helps out defensively. Now Greer's got it. Greer kicks, beautiful pass to the right corner. Hargrove almost had the offensive.
Here Coach Weber yelling, move. Not happy with the ball movement, the man movement. Illinois not in their usual rhythm tonight offensively.
McBride gives it back. They load. Arnold again. Through the lane. Battle rebound won by the Gophers. Gophers up 2 with the ball and playing with a lot of energy on senior night.
Good help defensively by Minnesota. Doing a nice job of congesting the lane area.
Nails the 3 ball. 14-9. Gophers out by 5. Brown comes back and hits the 3.
Those 2 work so well together. Augustine and Brown, a sense for one another.
Man, Greer back on that free throw line. I want to remind everybody about tomorrow night. There's a couple of very good games. This college game, folks, this is huge for Florida State. They almost beat Duke in Cameron. They play well or stage an upset in Tallahassee tomorrow night. They could be good. Now, after that, you want to keep an eye on Houston out west. Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady are healthy, that's a different Houston team, and they host Philadelphia. So those are coming at you tomorrow night on ESPN.
How'd you like to be the officiating crew doing that Florida State-Duke game tomorrow? After all the talk and scrutiny about Duke getting the favorable whistles over the years, that will be interesting to watch. See how those officials react.
Augustine takes out his mouthpiece and takes a seat over there on the Illinois bench. One thing we notice about Greer here tonight, Steve, he is very aggressive. He's, I think, to put a show on.
Well, Minnesota doing a nice job of moving the ball and not trying to go to Greer too soon, early in the offensive possession.
Pucktel is called for fouling Pruitt. Pucktel is a young man from Hopkins High School here in the Minneapolis area. He went to Harvard. He played JV basketball, and something was missing from his life. He was a high school basketball player. Back he came to Minnesota. He's paying his own way. He's not on scholarship, and here he is starting for the Golden Gophers and helping make a difference in and out. And Greer runs down the loose ball. He's everywhere tonight. Long arm. This young man's going to get a long look by the NBA.
Out of Dixie Junior College, originally from Charlotte, North Carolina, got out of the Tobacco Road area.
Give it back on the pass, and Pucktel scores on the assist by Greer.
Nice little two-mirror, giving up the ball at just the right time. Pucktel using the glass.
College basketball, the Pucktels of the world. They're special stories, folks.
Eric Sir down in Bloomington, the Hoosiers.
Pruitt loses control. So Aaron Andrews is going to give us more on the Pucktel story as his mom and dad, who are paying his way, watch on.
What shape vehicle of the future take? Will it be roomy, yet fuel efficient? Will it run cleaner, yet more powerfully? It will, if it's the world's first luxury hybrid, the Lexus RX 400h, the first vehicle of the future you'll want to drive today.
I thought we were here for a meeting.
We are.
So why are you on your laptop?
I'm emailing you. Check your inbox.
Now?
Now.
We can talk. It's a private club.
As private as our network.
I'll check my inbox.
Privacy. Powered by Cisco.
Introducing Papa's new Perfect Pan Meats Pizza. Our golden pan crust, deep and square, piled with pepperoni, sausage, ham, and bacon, with a zesty new Robusto sauce. Try a large Perfect Pan Meats Pizza for just $12.99. $12.99. Call now or order at papajohns.com and we'll deliver.
Better ingredients, better pizza, and now a better pan. Papa John's.
Minnesota on a 10-3 run, and it's now time for ESPN News. Prior to the program, and in the spotlight tonight, folks, Santa Clara. They were seeded 15th and down 13 to Arizona. Time for the Broncos to play like they had nothing to lose. The plan worked perfectly. Behind future NBA MVP Steve Nash and top scorer Pete Clara pulled off the stunner. How young does Steve look there? And more of ESPN News prior to the program features available on mobile ESPN. All right, let's check it again with Aaron Andrews on the Zach Pucktel story. Aaron?
Well, his parents, great people to talk to, Scott and Beth, before the game. They actually met here at Minnesota. I asked them, what did they think when their Harvard son said, I want to come to Minnesota, I want to be a walk-on basketball player, and they said, we thought he was crazy. His dad said, are you out of your mind? But his mom has said this is exactly what he needed to come and play Division I sport. It's high energy. He loves the crowd. And she said it was fate that Dan Munson put ago. And I said to his dad, yeah, but you got to be really proud your son goes to Harvard. And he goes, if you were paying the bills, you wouldn't be that proud. He said it's expensive. But they are loving the moment, Brent.
Yeah, exactly. And Aaron, they're going to pay for him to go back. He's going to get a Harvard degree after he finishes here. He's monitoring courses at Minnesota, but he will go back and finish up at Harvard. And on top of it, he's going to attempt to play rugby. His next goal is to make the rugby team. Remember, they're going to add rugby to the Olympics, apparently, and that is to become a United States rugby player. Just a wonderful story. Here comes young Frazier for the Illini, number 3, working with McBride. You and I have talked about Frazier. We think he's got great upside in Champaign, Steve.
Puts great defensive pressure on the ball, brings a speed dimension to this Illini team. I think they need to get some touches to Augustine inside. He's a tremendous post player. The clock running down here. Brown's going to have to put it up.
Into Greer's hands.
Yeah, I think Augustine, even the floor, he needs to set a low post more often. He still is a skilled player, capable of playing with his back to the basket. Sometimes he gets a little bit carried away and strays too far from the lane area.
Coleman and Tucker working, and look at Greer's quickness into the paint, just a little bit short. Tollickson, though, strong offensive rebound and a putback for the Gophers. Another home team performance in the Big Ten.
There's Augustine getting closer to the basket area where he needs to be.
Shot, wasn't it, Steve?
Yeah, you know, as skilled and as diversified as his game is, he is the one experienced low post player, and they can't forget that. They need to play through him on the low block, and then it's a bonus that he can step away as well.
Tollickson muscles in and kisses it in. What do you call those guys? What's your name?
Hanyaks.
Yeah, baby.
Tollickson, a classic Hanyak. Billy Paltz, Bill Laimbeer, a couple of the great Hanyaks of all time. A hard-working plotter.
Frazier nails the 3 ball.
Frazier for 3.
Guys like Tollickson don't mind doing the dirty work, like offensive linemen in football, Brent. Setting screens, rebounding.
And one as Greer comes by again. Now they're going to call it the other way. I thought for sure that it was going to count, but it did not. Munson. Let's take a look at this now. Yeah, Frazier, a wonderful defensive set by Chester Frazier, the freshman.
Well, textbook charge there, rotating, putting the hands straight up, taking it on the chest. Doing a nice job of getting outside the lane and not being too far under the basket where you come under a player. But you got to get out there to meet the oncoming offensive player.
Gophers are very active on defense. Quick legs here tonight as Hargrove came chasing across with Smith, who's a fine long-range gunner. Tollickson on a switch. And Boone blocks D. Brown's shot out of bounds.
At home, the Gophers have been playing stifling defense. After that early January, 0 for 6 in the month of January. After that, Minnesota's played well, and before that, they played well. Got off to a 9-2 start and playing solid basketball as of late. The January swoon just killed them.
They feed Augustine, and a pushing foul is called on the shot. Well, a reminder now, Big Ten hoops action continues. Steve and I, along with Aaron, will move on over to East Lansing, where the Spartans will try to get well after that tough loss at Indiana. Wisconsin Badgers, it's Throwdown Thursday, presented by IBM on ESPN at 7 Eastern time, with Augustine at the free throw line. He could make this a 2-point game again, Steve.
Well, the old-fashioned three-point play, and a nice job of his teammates of feeding him the ball, but also Augustine putting himself in position by playing back to the basket basketball.
Here's Boone, and partially blocked. Augustine active underneath for the rebound. Lost the dribble, but he gets it back. There's sort of a matchup zone. They've been chasing Smith. Another man-to-man in the corner on the shooter, and it's a 2. D. Brown, left baseline. Hargrove couldn't get there.
Excellent movement by D. Brown without the ball, freeing himself up by using his teammates. Screen by beep. D. Brown.
Hits Smith. Open look 3 off iron. Deadlocked at 22. Tollickson. Stampier missed the shot. Battle rebound. Going to be Illinois basketball.
Minnesota getting good looks at the basket. Clearly, they are probing out the penetration opportunity. Timeout.
And Illinois on an 8-0 run. And right now, Steve, let's check in with Scott Reese for a Sports Center 30 at 30. Scott?
All right, Brent, NFL labor talks broke off today, 3 days before the beginning of free agency. It's going to make negotiating new contracts rather difficult. Gene Upshaw not optimistic about the short-term future. And Isaiah Thomas is in San Antonio tonight, along with the rest of the Knicks brass, to discuss the debacle that is 15-41 New York. Guys, back to you.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. And here we're deadlocked at 22. Illinois has turned it around. And let's talk about how Coach Weber and the Illini turned it around for this spurt.
With defensive stops and then also their ability to get the ball into James Augustine. We talked about this earlier, Brent. The Gophers really played well earlier in the season and have played well as of late. This was the January swoon where they went 0-6 to start the new year. No way to ring in the new year. But they have rectified some issues. But in this league, when you start out 0-6 and dig a hole like that, so tough to come back into the conference mix.
33, Rich McBride back in for Illinois.
McBride back on the floor for the Illini. Fires short. And now it's the Gophers' turn to end this run.
Well, Coach Weber not happy with that contested shot. McBride needs to make one extra pass. Look to drive that ball when that closely guarded. Minnesota, as I was mentioning, Brent, you see Greer get involved with some ball screens. Now looking to post up here in a little two-man game. Again, taking advantage of his size, playmaking through.
Off to the right. Stampier, good hustle by the Gophers. Going after. That one was Pucktel, and foul is called, but there was Zach Pucktel doing what he does best. The hustling play that saves the opportunity for the Gophers. We've got a timeout.
Gas meets electric. High performance meets low emissions. You can drive two cars, or one without compromise. Introducing the luxury hybrid, the Lexus RX 400h. Gives more to the driver, takes less from the world.
Far bigger than a game. Much more than a mere rivalry. Steeped in history, stirred by Minute legends. What college basketball is all about. North Carolina, Duke. An ESPNU Full Circle event. Tip-off is on ESPN Saturday at 9 with Cameron Crazy Cam coverage on ESPNU.
Beat.com.
Brought to you by Toyota Scion of Goldsboro.
In a world where one play can turn a contender into a champion, comes a story of unparalleled pressure, and only those with nerves of steel will survive.
At the buzzer! Oh!
NBA League Pass presents Alex. Follow the ball. Be a part of the thrill.
Oh my goodness!
Don't miss a minute of clutch NBA action.
Call now to order NBA League Pass on digital cable for just $109 when it comes to sportswear on your team.
We're deadlocked at 22, and just a short time ago, number 32 shows you why he moved into Coach Munson's starting lineup. Watch 32. This is Pucktel. Watch where he goes, off the floor, into the crowd, saving it, and it goes. Now, let's take you back to Hopkins High School here, Minnetonka, Minnesota. He's the tight end. He's on the receiving end. Zach Pucktel, here he is in basketball, number 50. So Zach Pucktel making a difference. Steve showed you how cold they were in January. And then in the middle of the night, Coach Munson was up pacing the bedroom, and his wife said, well, what's going on? He said, I've got to play him. I've got to start him. He said, what are you talking about? He said, he's doing everything right. He works harder than anybody in practice. He always shows up, listens to the coaches. I've got to put him in there. And the rest, folks, is, as they say, in the Twin Cities history.
We've talked about it before, Brent. When you have a hunch as a coach, you bet a bunch. Have to go with your instincts.
I thought that was me at the racetrack.
That's every day for you.
Basically, here's Greer again at the free throw line. He's making a living of it right there. And what do we got here? A 9-0 run now, and that snaps it. They snapped the 8-0 run by the Illini, and it was 23-22. There's your free throw situation. The Gophers at home, getting to the line 7 times. Feed it into Augustine, and a foul is called.
Augustine fortunate to get that ball. Instead of getting set,
whistle here.
Sets a good screen.
Oh, that's number 3, and that was very, very close, folks. Munson's very unhappy with Hightower, and I've got to tell you, that one was really close. And Munson's lathering Hightower. Puckdell kind of backed the coach off a little bit.
Number 50, Tallickson replaces Puckdell.
So Munson's got to be careful. Hightower's listening to him. Hasn't looked over at him. Stamper yanks it down.
Watch Minnesota offensively, Brett. They've done a nice job this evening of spreading the court, making a couple passes, and then looking to penetrate. Put the ball on the deck.
Hargrove. And Hargrove is 3 of 3 for the field here tonight. The Gophers shooting about 54% here in the first half.
Hargrove was out here early, a couple hours. We see Greer with the good ball pressure, comes up with the steal.
Hargrove again, still perfect. Score the 2, and Puckdell now leading the cheers from the Gopher bench.
Hargrove, 3-4 hours before the shot's up, working on his stroke, getting some extra reps in.
The Gophers, of course, have a dream, and that is that they continue this charge, win a couple in Indianapolis, and make their way into the NCAAs. Put back by Augustine, and a foul is called. He'll be on the free throw line. It's a long shot, but the way they have regrouped, you make them certainly a favorite for the NIT if they don't make it to the NCAA. Now remember, this year it has taken over ownership and control of the NIT, and no longer do you even have to be 500 to make the NIT field, as we check in with Aaron.
Well, Brent, you're talking about a long shot getting to the NCAA tournament. I talked to Jason Stamper before the game, and he said it was in January when these 5 seniors had enough of the losing, had enough of everything, and they just called the team together without the coaches knowing and saying, guys, look, we've got too much heart, too much team chemistry. Now we've got to play this season out the way it should be. And on the bench, it's hard not to see all the heart on this team right now.
Yeah, I agree, Aaron. There's an entirely different look about this team than when we were, I guess Steve was at the Wisconsin game, and Bo Ryan of the Badgers came in here and beat them up pretty good, even though they squandered that huge lead. The Gophers could not get over I think they were down about 19 in that game in the second half.
Yeah, Wisconsin went to that, Minnesota went to that full court press and got back into the game by forcing turnovers, by extending their defense.
Boone misses the 3. E. Brown presses the attack. Everybody who plays the Illini knows you've got to pick Brown up right away. Get him as high as you can. Fires. The 3 is good. D for 3.
There's that little 2-man game again. Working together for the good look from long range. Illinois hasn't had one of their patented runs, Brent, and that's because and executing offensively.
Hargrove's been a thorn. He gives it up. He and Greer. Greer wants to go to work on D. Brown. Regains control with 10 on the shot. Hargrove is fouled out high by McBride. And again, a reminder now. ACC Wednesday presented by Staples. You'll see the all-time ACC scoring leader, J.J. Redick, and the Duke Blue Devils. It's J.J. versus Adam Morrison of Gonzaga for Player of the Year. Morrison and the Philadelphia 76ers taking on Yao Ming and the Houston Rockets. So it's NCAA, NBA on Wednesday here on ESPN with Hargrove on the free throw line. Minnesota is now 6 of 8 on the line.
Minnesota in the bonus already because they've been aggressive in putting the ball on the deck, trying to get to the basket area.
High screen by Augustine for D. Brown. Pull-up jump shot. Short into Greer's hands. Greer is all over the floor for the Gophers tonight.
Little Hargrove size. Good dump inside to the plotting Hanyok Tollickson. That's where the plotters belong. The big Hanyok should get in the basket area where they can clean up the garbage, take high percentage looks down in the trenches.
29-26 now. Minnesota up by 3. Oh, Pruitt couldn't get the handle. He has turned it over. Take a look at this pass. Look at Tollickson. Slip it to him, and the big fella says, let me take it up. 29-26.
Right here, this is MSG. We call it the Garden. Just tragedy everywhere. It's something that you want to get your family away from. That's what I'm trying to do.
My brother's about to do something that a lot of people don't get a chance to do.
The pro scouts made me a little uneasy.
The word is that you're going to the NBA. You don't listen to that.
Entertainment presents the defining year of Sebastian Telfair.
Going all out for me, my family, and my team.
Through the Fire. Premieres Sunday, March 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
I see packages coming in from Shanghai today.
Yeah, Oracle, I know, 200 and 80 from Portland tomorrow morning.
What?
It's UPS. See, now I get a detailed report of all their shipments coming in.
Huh.
I've already notified production and alerted sales.
Well, I can't compete with that.
That's why you're being reassigned to accounting. Oh, my stapler.
How's the business?
We got new cars for our execs. What do you got?
We've got a secure network. We don't have to commute.
Check. Company barbecues?
Secure network. We commingle 24/7.
Yoga. Stress reduction.
Secure network. No stress. Check.
Espresso bar. Check.
Confidence. Powered by Cisco.
Introducing the brand new 99-cent Buffalo Snacker from KFC. 100% chicken breast smothered with authentic buffalo sauce and crispy lettuce on a sesame seed bun. And like the original KFC Snacker, it's only 99 cents. Heat things up for under $1 at KFC.
Who's doubling the amount of their federal refund at H&R Block? Barbara doubled her refund to over $7,000. Kara doubled hers to over $9,000. Play for your chance to double your refund or win one of a million other prizes. H&R Block, in your corner.
Scott Reese, Rick Majerus in the studio. Coming up on the UPS halftime report, scores and highlights. Coach will tell you why LSU could be a force to be reckoned with come March Madness. And Minnesota coach having success. What's been the key?
Greer's got that bullseye on his back, seems non-pulsed by it. In spite of that fact, he's got one more free throw than the entire Illini team.
Love watching the high flyer Vincent Greer. We'll see at halftime, Brad, and also Barry Bonds like you have never seen.
All right, Scott. Steve, you paid a young man to make these for us?
Aaron shouldn't have. That she had a lot of time today on her hands at the hotel. She went into an arts and crafts mode like she was in kindergarten, had the graham crackers and milk, and she put that together for us. How sweet.
If I had done that, I would have added at least a little glitter for you two. We know Lab likes to glitz it up. I would have added a little pink to Lab.
You add our glitter, Aaron.
On HD, of course.
You take care of that. You know, there's a stat here, folks. Right now, the Gophers are shooting 57.9% And the Illini defense has been much, much better than that. The last team to shoot 50% against the Illini, North Carolina, in last year's national championship game. And look at Greer. Scoop one in again. And the Gophers are out by 5. An impressive first half performance by Munson's Gophers.
Well, on multiple defenders as well. Doesn't matter who. He's got the ability to find a way to score. Forced pass inside. No room in the closet. Greer posting up again. Minnesota, like the NBA, likes the M&M. The mismatch. Probing for the ball, down low in the post. With his back to the basket, comfortable. Uses the dribble. Jackknifes to the basket.
So at the other end, the Illini score 31-28 with 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Augustine does a fine defensive job that time.
Because Illinois extends defensively, we see Minnesota continue to try and drive the ball.
D. Brown was looking for daylight. Here he comes on the attack. He was looking for it as he came up the floor. He was looking for a crease, folks. D. Brown not about to let this one get away. A 1-point Big Ten Donnybrook.
Do you believe anything's possible?
I do. I work at Earthlink.
I believe your internet can do more for you.
I believe it can be safe at any speed.
High-speed dial-up wireless, secure, secure, secure.
I believe that whatever's next, we'll think of it first. I work at Earthlink.
And we're making unbelievable things happen.
Every day.
It's time to start believing. Call now and get a great deal Inc. We revolve around you.
We are back, Steve, and let's take a look at number 11 here.
Well, take a look at the Roadrunner. Has blazing speed, but does a nice job here of surveying the floor, using change of pace, a hard crossover, and the finish off the glass. Excellent open court player.
1:41 remaining in the first half. Scott and Coach Majerus will be. They'll update you on what's going on. McBride taking Greer with 20 on the shot. Greer getting inside. There's Coleman underneath. Bad pass. D. Brown right there in the lane. McBride, the three. Yes, the transition three ball. And the Illini take a lead off that Minnesota mistake. And right back at you is Dan Coleman.
Boy, Minnesota has had to answer at both ends for this Illini team. D. Brown working without the ball, using screens down low.
That was a nice job, wasn't it, off the dribble?
Put him under the basket, came off an Augustins to elude the defender, and nothing but net. I like the fact Minnesota putting some touches on the ball here the last possession. Chance to go into half with a little momentum.
Five on the shot. Turn it over. Augustine's going to have an easy run out. 3-2-1 left in the first half. And the Illini feast off a couple of late Gopher mistakes. Minnesota, though, with a spirited first half. The Minnesota coaching staff wanted to foul at that end. Let's go to Aaron.
All right, Coach, obviously a little fired up with the referees, but good news, no team has shot this well against Illinois since last year's national championship game. What are you guys doing against the Illinois team?
Well, I mean, we got good offensive pace, but the problem is that they're so dangerous on the other end, and we had limited their fast break baskets, and then all of a sudden they got 7 points in the last 2 minutes of a transition, and that's something we got to stop. We can't just come in here and outscore them. We got to get them back under control on the offensive end.
All right, Coach, thank you.
All right. right, Aaron. Minnesota led by 8 with 10 minutes to go. Illinois closed out the half 23-12. Let's share us for the UPS halftime report, Scott.
All right, Brent, so an impressive end to the first half for the visiting Illini, and welcome in everyone to the UPS halftime report. Coach, you talked about Vincent Greer having a nice game at home.
He runs the floor in transition. He posts up. He's got a great middle game. He lacks the outside game a little bit, but I'll tell you something. He can score in almost every conceivable way, and he has one more three throw himself than the entire team of Illini. There you see him right there. That was like an up and under. Now what move without the ball. Now watch his footwork. Unbelievable, and he finishes it with his left hand and in traffic. I mean, that kid's really good. He's got a knack for scoring. He's like, reminds me of Bernard King down around the rim there a little bit.
And Minnesota, a very different team at home. 12-4 at home, just 2-7 away from the barn. We'll talk more hoops in a bit, but first some football. And it's not good news as NFL labor talks broke off today, just 3 days prior to the beginning of free agency. That's not good for contracts, which need to be negotiated. Gina Upshaw, not about the near-term future of the league.
At this point, we're at a deadlock. There is no chance that we're going to reach an agreement, so there's no further talk scheduled. We've been here all day, and it looks like we're at the end.
What would it take to break that deadlock?
Well, we're too far apart on our economics and too far apart on revenue sharing, and the ball's in their court.
What do you expect would be the next step?
We go to the uncapped year. There won't.
And what would be the consequences of that?
Well, we just go into the uncapped year. That's all I want to say about it.
Isaiah Thomas was going to fly to Europe on a scouting trip. Instead, he was summoned to San Antonio by Knicks owner James Dolan for a meeting with the Mines. Larry Brown there, as well as the MSG brass, to discuss what is wrong with the 15-41 Knicks, probably a lengthy meeting. And Villanova forward Curtis Sumter decided to sit out the rest of this season. Sumter tore his ACL back in October, has not played at all this season. It was the second time in 7 months that he had that surgery. Coming up on the halftime report, what is Barry Bonds wearing and why? We'll take you to some spring training fun, American Idol style.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Get the 700W with Windows Mobile.
Yo, B-Dub got Mike in the house. What's up? And his tricked out whip. What does this do? It sucks in air.
It's definitely sucking.
Yo, Mike, you want us to unpimp this thing? Let me hear you say what? What? V-Dub holding it down on the engineering tip, y'all. Yeah.
The GTI German engineers.
Successful investing. At T. Rowe Price, it's about more than just hitting home runs. It's about a consistent, steady approach, year after year. For each 1, 5, and 10-year period, 70% of our mutual funds beat their Lipper average. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Beginning Thursday, the best in the world are playing.
For pride, for country, for baseball.
The World Baseball Classic begins Thursday. Telecast presented by Taco Bell.
To the UPS halftime report.
D. Brown leading the Illinois charge, so what else is new? He's got 14 points, Illini by 3 on the road against a valiant Minnesota squad. ACC, Wake Forest, Boston College, and Craig Smith doing his thing in the low block. Nice look from Sean Williams. Eagles up by 4. Second half, Justin Gray put it on. Kick out to Trent Strickland, who was efficient, hit 4 of 5 shots for 13 points, but overall, coach, too much Craig Smith.
Smith is just a monster. He's excellent in the high post in that flex offense as well as the low post. He's a superb rebounder, and best of all, he's an unselfish passer who makes excellent passing decisions.
Boston College clinches a first-round bye in the ACC tournament. Wake Forest, by the way, 0-8 this year in conference road games. And you see here the ACC standings. It'll be Duke at 14-0, certainly the regular season champs. Dukey's schedule, however, Saturday against North Carolina. SEC, LSU, South Carolina. Second half, Glenn Davis inside the baby hook and the foul, the big baby hook in his case. Tigers take a 1-point lead. Other end, Terrence Kinsey. He had a team-high 21. The Gamecocks up one late, but down the stretch they come, and it's the Tigers, and it's the big baby with 2 more of his 24 points. He also had 10 rebounds. That made LSU a 3-point victory. 250 career wins, by the way, for Coach John Brady. And you see the SEC West standings. The Tigers long ago clinched the division. They now clinch at least a tie for the best record in the conference in the regular season. And, Coach, a lot of people talking about LSU as a team that can really do some damage in the tournament. Why is this team so dangerous?
Well, they've got Mitchell. Those are 2 outside shooters. The Mitchell boys can stretch that D. Then they've got Thomas, the high-wire Aerolac, the great freshman, who can get to the free-throw line. Then that's what I call him, baby Glenn Davis. And he shot more free throws tonight than the entire South Carolina team. Let's take a look at him. Look at him play through that contact. Watch him dislodge people and do it in a legal way with a low body balance base of support. There's his specialty, a paint catch, playing through a physical hit in traffic, and now he'll get his free throw, and he gets his third of his points the old-fashioned way from the free-throw line on three-pointers. But we saw early in the highlights, how about the kid coming out and dropping down the jump shot in rhythm? This guy, about the only weakness he has is he can't pass. And like Stromile Swift, when they were beaten by the Badgers in '99, he's going to face double teams in the NCAA tournament. He better be prepared because he has 1 assist per 2 turnovers.
Impressive win for LSU playing without Tyrus Thomas tonight. Meanwhile, is this impressive? I'm not so sure. What do you think, Coach? Barry Bonds, you like the look?
I'll tell you what, he needs to downsize his bra cup, could use some collagen, Botox.
Playing the role of Paula Abdul for the Giants' idol in spring training.
That looked like girls I used to date.
Coming up on the halftime report, a big game in the Big East could be an elimination game.
This halftime report is delivered by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Dad, I see packages coming in from Shanghai today.
Yeah, Oracle, I know. 200 and 80 from Portland tomorrow morning.
What?
It's UPS. See, now I get a detailed report of all their shipments coming in.
Huh.
I've already notified production and alerted sales.
Well, I can't compete with that.
Yeah, that's why you're being reassigned to accounting. Oh, my stapler.
Introducing Papa's new Perfect Pan Meats Pizza. Our golden pan piled with pepperoni, sausage, ham, and bacon. Try a large Perfect Pan Meats Pizza for just $12.99. Call now or order at papajohns.com and we'll deliver. Introducing Papa's new Perfect Pan Meats Pizza. Our golden pan crust, deep and square, piled with pepperoni, sausage, ham, and bacon. Try a large Perfect Pan Meats Pizza for just $12.99. Call now or order at papajohns.com and we'll deliver.
Innovative solutions from Siemens can be found everywhere by helping to make water more pure, buildings more efficient, facilities more modern, communications better integrated, and energy more reliable. We're turning dreams into reality.
You're watching the UPS Halftime Report.
For tonight's North Carolina Duke moment, we harken back to February 2. The top-ranked Blue Devils had a 1-point halftime lead in Chapel Hill, trying to extend their win streak to 24 games. Carolina went without a field goal over the last 9 minutes. However, clutch free throw shooting down the stretch gave them a 2-point lead. Of course, the lasting image, Eric Montross sinking a pair with blood dripping down his face after taking a couple of elbows. The game came down to Christian Laettner's 2 chances to tie in the final 30 ticks.
He missed! It's over! Count! Oh, it's over, baby!
So what will happen next when these two tangle? Saturday prime time in Durham. It's Duke hosting North Carolina. Of course, ESPN2 will do the above the rim camera. ESPNU split screen, part of our full circle coverage this weekend on the ESPN family of networks. Cincinnati Seton Hall. This could be an elimination game for the NCAA tournament as far as at-large is concerned. James White, the 3 at the first half buzzer, puts the second half. Kelly Whitney, who's been in school at least 9 or 10 years by my count, puts the Hall up by 5. Final 10 minutes. Back and forth we go. It's Jihad Muhammad straight away, buries it. Bearcats up 2. However, since he has come back, or Seton Hall has come back late, looks like they're going to win this thing.
I'll tell you what, this is a play-in game. That's the way I'd prefer to look at it. They've got to beat West Virginia at home.
Cincinnati does, and home is better than road, as the Bearcats, if this score holds, will have lost 7 of 8 on the road. Set for half number 2 as D. Brown and his 14 points ready to get back to work against Minnesota.
This halftime report is delivered by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Now you can rev up your lifestyle in a Dodge Charger or Dodge Magnum. Get an available fuel-efficient 3.5-liter V6 or the legendary power plus all-speed traction control and a 5-star government frontal crash test rating. Right now, qualified returning lessees can lease a Dodge Charger for $349 a month. Hurry, offer ends February 28th. Open up a Magnum or unleash a Charger now at your Dodge dealer.
The world may not come with an easy button, but your business does. It's called Staples.
Who running it now? Come on. Who running it now? Yo. It's the Big Ten. Welcome to the big stage. Give it your all and get cut like a quick fade. One step in the arena, hear the squeak of the sneaker. Your mama proud you made the doubter. Can't fake it when you make it to the Big Ten. They blocking your big shots and stopping your big men. It's a battleground whenever we come around and let you know the number 1 is the 10. This is it, about to see who's running it now. See how we getting up in the crowd, we put it down.
At most banks, free checking is just plain checking. At Wachovia, it's paying bills online even when you're out of town. It's rewards points for groceries, gas, smoothies. It's a daily email showing you your account balance. And it's 5,000 ATM. That's extra free checking at Wachovia. How satisfied are you with your bank?
Wachovia, rated number 1 in customer satisfaction 4 years in a row.
Break it, drizzle it, dunk it, crave it. The wait is over. Lobster Fest is back. Red Lobster's annual celebration is going on now. Taste new combinations like succulent Maine and rock lobster, irresistible lobster with snow crab, or indulge in a bowl of creamy lobster bisque. Your favorite lobster dishes right now during Lobster Fest, only at Red Lobster.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
James Augustine, 3 of 5, and Illinois has a 3-point lead over Mid. Coach Levin, the Illini, of course, still dreaming for a share of a Big Ten championship, but they're going to need help against Ohio State. Ohio State leads it by a game, but D. Brown with 12 points here in the first half.
Well, D. Brown did a tremendous job of moving without the ball offensively. As we take a look at the Illini attack, you see D. Brown, we're going to clear out McBride and lead to a two-man game on this side of the floor. Brown giving the ball up to Augustine, a little dribble handoff, which acts as a screen to free Brown from long range. And then here we're going to watch Brown again in a little action with the dribble handoff. He's going to take his man under the basket area. And now as we freeze, we're going to see two screening opportunities off of Augustine. He chooses a little one bounce, nothing but net.
Folks, here is a stat that coaches love. The Illini had 13 assists on 15 field goals in that first half. The Gophers 8 on 13, but 13 on 15 is an amazing. The coach likes to say they're sharing the sugar.
A little bit of brother-in-law defense too. You score, I score. Both teams shooting in the 50s.
Stampier misses. Pucktel with 3 fouls, digs out an offensive rebound. What a productive 7 minutes he's turned in this game.
Pucktel's a little mini Hanyok. Got Tollickson, which is the bigger Hanyok, but Pucktel's right behind him.
And Hargrove shooting very well. He's now 5 of 5. Final game here at the barn. And the barnyard, the students, they love it.
Can't emphasize enough, Brent Hargrove here 2 hours, 3 hours before the game, working on his shot. It's paying big dividends tonight.
And one. Chance for that old-fashioned three-point play. And Pucktel just picked up number 4. So Tollickson replaces a disappointed Pucktel in his final game here in the barn in serious foul trouble. Greer tracks it down. Let's talk about Greer's game. He's 3 of 6 from the field, 6 of 7 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds. He had 12 points. Here's Hargrove, perfect so far. There's his no, still perfect. He's now 6 of 6. I thought it was going to come out, Coach.
Boy, what a soft touch. Gets the shooter's bounce.
Pruitt. Randall back on the floor for the Illini to start the second half. McBride off the dribble, something they've been working on, not just the spot up 3 as they approach the Big Ten and the NCAA tournament.
Well, tonight, Minnesota, 9 vulnerabilities. One is the vulnerability off the bounce defensively with penetration like that, which leads to draw and kick.
And the 3. Jason Stampier, his first field goal of the night, deadlocks it at 41.
The second area of the game, we see the Illini moving the ball here offensively, is post defense. They're doing a nice job of inverting their guards. Good cut to the basket by Augustine. Good heads up pass by Pruitt, showing his playmaking abilities in the post. But those are the 2 areas, vulnerable to dribble penetration because they're so extended. There again was another example. Randall extended, Greer turns, takes it hard to the basket, able to get the foul. And then also the Illini post defense, very porous in terms of position, and they've exploited the guards post defense.
Greer fouled that time not in the act of shooting, so it'll be out of bounds. Greer would like to get back on that free throw line where he's been so successful. Feeds Tollickson in low. Randall. Brown eyes the floor, cut off. McBride fires the air ball. They wanted a foul on Greer and didn't get it that time. Randall misses the 3. Greer plays volleyball, comes out, numbers, gives it to Hargroves on the free throw line. Terrific play by Vincent Greer, who volleyballed one and made the pass.
Well, indicative of his performance all tonight, alert and aggressive. This is just a heads-up play to kick it ahead to himself with the tap, and then the 2-on-1, giving the ball up at the right time to Hargrove. Alert and aggressive. The old Coach Wooden phrase, be quick but don't hurry.
Steve, I think you've made this point now for a couple of weeks. What a Big Ten tournament it's going to be in Indianapolis, because the bottom 4 teams, the bottom 4 are all capable of knocking somebody off in Indy State right now under any circumstance, the way they've come on.
Well, those teams have continued to improve with each practice and each game. Ed DeChellis, Matt Painter, Dan Monson, Bill Carmody should be commended. Oftentimes you lose a team late when you're struggling and they go south on you. Not in the Big Ten.
And hey, fans of Northwestern, Evanston, Chicago, get out there tomorrow night. Watch the Wildcats take on the Buckeyes. You'll be impressed with this Ohio State team. Thad Matta's got them a year ahead of schedule. Can't believe all those empty seats in Evanston. It's big-time college basketball.
It's only fair.
Well, we got to get some crowd in there first. We got to get some numbers in there. Make some noise.
Well, ESPN2 was there last Thursday, but I want to go to Evanston.
You'll love it, kid. This Frazier. Augustine. And the whistle, gets held ball. Held ball. Let's talk about if the season ended today. Here would be the matchups. Those are the first 3. Northwestern would be playing Penn State for the right to take on the Buckeyes. State, Purdue, Indiana. Those would be the 3 on Thursday. Michigan, Iowa. And that would be 4-5, the second game on Friday. But still a lot of games to play. Again, that was if the season ended today. And, of course, it doesn't. And there's the 5-second violation.
Boy, nice job by Minnesota denying all lead passes on the out-of-bounds play, forcing that 5-second violation.
Who is going to take charge of this game, Coach? We're deadlocked at 43, 16 and a half. And Ted Hillary over there with the timer and the held ball on the possession arrow. I think there's a little bit of discussion about that right now. Here's your shooting.
There's that brother-in-law defense. You score, I score. Whoever is the first one to get a string of stops or shutouts
Is there a
will
little
win this
blood
game.
on Hargrove's arm? Hightower's escorting him off. See, come on, it's dried. He can stay out there. There's nothing. Let's put a little bandage on it. There we go. There we go.
Resourcefulness, ingenuity.
Absolutely.
At its best.
Let's play. And there we see a very popular substitution. Abu Shamala, a freshman, will replace Hargrove right now.
And Dan Munson's going to want to get Hargrove back in the game as soon as possible.
That's right.
Playing like Superman tonight.
Well, he's got 7 of their 9 second-half points here. Tollickson freight trains it. And no basket. Foul on the entry.
Players on the Gophers roster showing he's got some skills, putting it on the deck, finding the open man off the bounce.
Second personal, 13-33 big bang.
Jamar Smith.
Jamar Smith
Checks in for the Illini. Shamala handles for the first time, and here's Boone.
Nice job of putting some touches on the ball. The offensive end here for the Gophers. They want to probe out the matchup. Back to Greer.
Right on him. Greer attacks, swoops inside, misfiring, loose ball picked up by Augustine. Look at the speed that the Illini get it down the floor with. Deep round. Loose, and now it's the Gophers' turn.
Boy, good choice by Greer to bring the ball back out, get into your patterns, your alignments, ensure yourself a good shot as opposed to an empty possession.
Tollickson with an offensive rebound. Muscles in for the go-ahead field goal.
That's textbook Cognac work down low in the paint, Brent.
Buckdell continues to lead the cheers. Out with 4 fouls. Tied 7 times. We go coaster here in the barn in Minneapolis. Augustine on the muscle. He'll be shooting a pair of free throws. He'll be on the line when we come back. James Augustine. See if he can tie it out shortly.
Doubleheader action, Sunday on ABC.
Introducing Arby's Chicken Naturals. Now all Arby's sent all natural chicken. Try the new chicken cordon bleu with roasted ham and melted Swiss. It's so good, it'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Now you can rev up your lifestyle in a Dodge Charger or Dodge Magnum. Get an available fuel-efficient 3.5-liter V6 or the legendary power of a heavy V8. Plus all-speed traction control and a 5-star government frontal crash test rating. Right now, qualified returning lessees can lease a Dodge Charger for $349 a month. Hurry, offer ends February 28th. Or unleash a Charger now at your Dodge dealer.
Black. In stores now. Rated M for mature.
Innovations from Siemens can be found everywhere. By integrating communications, building technologies, and advanced medical systems, we're creating digital hospitals that can provide higher quality patient care. Siemens, we're turning dreams into reality.
Introducing Arby's Chicken Naturals. Now all Arby's chicken is made with 100% all natural chicken. Try the new chicken cordon bleu with roasted ham and melted Swiss. It's so good, it'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Well, our friend Joe Lunardi, the bracketologist on ESPN.com from St. Joe's, said that ACC teams on his bracket right now. Well, tomorrow night, Florida State hopes to become the 5th, but they're either going to have to upset Duke or take them right down to the wire in Tallahassee. Folks, that is a huge ACC game down in the state of Florida for the Seminoles. And then Philadelphia and Houston. And if there is a sleeper trying to come off the deck to close on the 8th spot out west, it'll be the Houston Rockets with Yao Ming and Tracy McGrady. A different team. So you've got college and NBA basketball coming your way on ESPN tomorrow night. Here we've got a dandy. Minnesota leads it by 2, 45-43. The Illini need a victory and an upset by the Wildcats tomorrow night in Evanston over Ohio State to stay in the chase for the Big Ten championship. The Buckeyes are trying to close out. Thad Matta right now stands as the coach of the year in the Big Ten for the way the Buckeyes and Lavin's formula for winning the Big Ten championship. We'll go back early in the year and we'll see how the Buckeyes measure up against Coach Lavin's key points here as Augustine ties it up at the free throw line.
Augustine 64% on the year. The Illini at 62%. That is one of their Achilles heels in close games in the NCAA tournament. The fact they do not shoot free throws well could be a downfall.
Turn it over. Now the Illini will look for the lead.
We talked about somebody has to shut an opponent's water off. That is how you win games in the Big Ten, at the defensive end.
Augustine for the lead. Great pass underneath to Pruitt. It looked all in the world like he was going to go with the shot. He now has 7 assists, a career high. Folks, he's got a chance, an outside shot at a triple-double. 12 points, 9 rebounds, a career night for James Augustine. Hargrove finally misses. Ball out of bounds. Goes to the Illini. Watch this beautiful pass for assist number 7.
Well, such an understated game. He quietly goes about his business precisely like a surgeon, picking apart defenses, runs the floor well. Again, the hub of the wheel of this Illini attack. With his angular body, he's a tough, interesting prospect for the next level because of his intelligence at his size.
His parents here in attendance again. James Augustine, of course, like Dee Brown, played high school quarterback. Fine all-around athlete. If he doesn't make it in the NBA because of his size, he can play in Europe for a long time with his ability.
I think they'll find a place for him in the NBA.
It'll be interesting.
He might not be a superstar, but someone that can
Fun on the shot. McBride gets it back. The Gophers let one get away. They don't seal off the shooter. It's 49-45, and now Minnesota's got to be careful. Time to go to Greer, and he'll kick it over to the three is short. And here come the Illini. They're on a 6-0 run and looking for more.
Quick shots and turnovers lead to the runouts for the Illini. They are a team that plays in spurts.
Munson knows he's got to be real careful here. Look inside by Smith. Augustine scores and one. Gophers are in trouble.
Nice job of probing the interior, sniffing out high percentage looks. Augustine along the baseline, a little screen, and then slips into that gap. Gives a big target, steps to the ball.
32.
Now Pucktel. So Munson has decided to gamble with the 4 fouls. Put Coleman and Pucktel. Alexson, as Augustine has been tattooing him a little bit. It's 51-45 now.
Well, that possession, another example of the basketball IQ or savvy of James Augustine.
This is on the Illini. Arnold knew it.
Foul of 44, Marcus Arnold. And second.
You know, when I say understated game, you think of players throughout the history of basketball. Keith Wilkes, Jamal Wilkes was someone who had an understated game. Throughout the flow, you're not really aware of that sheet late, and he's beaten you in so many different ways. And James Augustine has that type of subtle game.
McBride trying to shut down Greer. Greer gets right baseline and fires an air ball. .10. You do not want to lose contact with the Illini. Arnold's on the free throw line as Greer fouled him.
Minnesota on the last couple possessions, Brent, it looked as though they were almost playing a boxing one at one point on Dee Brown, and another type of matchup zone here. They double teamed in the short corner, poor defensive spacing. Illinois just stayed space, played hot potato, moved the ball, and probed out high percentage looks and foul shot opportunities as we see Arnold step to the line.
Augustine now with the double-double at least, with the 14 points and the 10 rebounds. So he's 3 assists away. Double here tonight in Minneapolis. Wouldn't that be something?
Another interesting point about Augustine, Brent, is he very rarely forces the action. You hear coaches say, let the game come to you. He is an example of someone who lets the game come to him. Here's that double team by the quick Illini attack on ball screens. They rotate back so quickly into defensive position and reassume pressure. Switching on the perimeter defensively.
5 on the shot now.
The double team.
Over and back. They force a turnover. Illinois on a 10-0 run. They lead at 53-45.
This is MSG. We call it the Garden. My brother's about to do something that a lot of people ain't gonna get a chance to do.
The Pro Scouts made me a little uneasy. He presents the defining year of Sebastian Telfair, Through the Fire. Premieres Sunday, March 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Now you can rev up your lifestyle in a Dodge Charger or Dodge Magnum. Get an available fuel-efficient 3.5-liter V6 or the legendary power of a heavy V8. Plus all-speed traction control and a 5-star government frontal crash test rating. Right now, qualified returning lessees can lease a Dodge Charger for $349 a month. Hurry, offer ends February 28th. Open up a Magnum or other Dodge dealer.
Introducing the brand new 99-cent Buffalo Snacker from KFC. 100% chicken breast smothered with authentic buffalo sauce and crispy lettuce on a sesame seed bun. And like the original KFC Snacker, it's only 99 cents. Heat things up for under $1 at KFC.
Being able to track packages is critical to our customers. That's why we've developed a more advanced scanning system. You see, we take delivering information as seriously as delivering packages.
What can Brown do for you?
A cool head. And a new copier. $2,500.
Dinosaur. Dedication.
And a coffee maker. $69.
A sense of humor.
And a mop. $17. Having what it takes to run a business? Priceless. To see what the MasterCard Business Card can do for your business, visit our website.
Illinois opens up an 8-point lead here, and I'm going to remind you about Saturday night at 9 Eastern, a very special viewing experience. North Carolina and Duke with ESPNU, and folks, it's full circle. The game, of course, is on ESPN, but you can also watch from above the rim, special cameras on ESPN2, or sit with the Cameron Crazies on ESPNU. So it's complete everywhere. Saturday at 9 Eastern. So that ought to be something, folks. You can switch back and forth from the family of networks and get different perspective on that game between Duke and Carolina, which is always a great rivalry. The first-year anniversary of ESPNU. The Illini with the ball out of bounds right now.
Minnesota in the 2-3 zone out of the timeout, trying to change their defenses and keep Illinois out of rhythm. Get a stop.
Illini probing to solve this defensive change right now. Running a little time here with this lead. McBride. Short. Into Pucktel's hands. Stolen by D. Brown. Look out. Pucktel's got 4. And D. Brown lost it coming up. Ball is out of bounds. Let's check in with Scott Reese for his 30. Scott?
All right, Brent, NFL labor talks have broken off just 3 days prior to the start of free agency. This leaves the owners and players in a bit of a quandary with regard to negotiating new contracts. Elsewhere, contrary to a report in the Newark Star-Ledger, Knicks owner James Dolan did not summon Isaiah Thomas, Larry Brown, and front office people to Memphis to discuss the plight of the team. Details on SportsCenter after basketball and on ESPN News right now. Brent.
We are back here, and we're going to take a break. Timeout, Scott. So it's 53-45. We'll be right back.
Coming up on SportsCenter, which small conference tournaments will pop big conference bubbles? NFL labor talks break down how the big-name free agents will be affected. Plus, get ready for Barry Bonds in drag. SportsCenter after the game.
Incoming email.
With OnStar Vehicle Diagnostics, your Chevy runs hundreds of diagnostic checks every month and emails you the result. Conversation with your vehicle.
Hey, I'm really glad we could talk like that. We should do it again.
There's no extra cost to eligible OnStar subscribers. Just press your blue OnStar button to sign up. Chevy, America's #1 brand, offers more vehicles with the peace of mind of OnStar.
Beginning Thursday, the best in the world are playing.
For pride, for country, for baseball.
The World Baseball Classic begins Thursday.
If you had a disability claim denied or terminated after January 1st, 1997 by Unum Provident, Paul Revere, or First Unum, call the number on your screen now for a free consultation. Unum Provident has agreed to reopen and reconsider previously denied or terminated disability claims, but there may be time limits, so call now. Again, if your disability claim was denied or terminated by Unum Provident,
call 1-800-775-9751. That's 1-800-775-9751.
And the Oscar goes to...
This year, experience all the glamour, excitement, and surprises of the 78th Academy Awards in high definition. See every shining star and hear every magical moment in amazing widescreen digital picture and sound. Roll the red carpet right into your living room. An easy HD upgrade is one call away. Watch the 78th Academy Awards live Sunday, March 5th in high definition on ABC HD with Time Warner Cable.
Wisconsin, Iowa, all chasing Ohio State. And Steve, let's go back now to your keys earlier this season on winning.
Well, early in the season on the broadcast, we talked about these keys, and let's revisit them. Ohio State in position to win the Big Ten because they took care of business at home. They split their road games.
We'll come back on that as D. Brown misses. Tracked down by the Gophers. The Gophers need to make a run here, Coach, and real quiet. The Illini have been able to do a much better job on him defensively. He is scoreless here in his second half. So they have really shut number 15 down, and that is your big difference. Here's Tollickson in the paint.
A soft touch for the big fella. Continues to play with more confidence. Better stamina this year.
That breaks a 10-0 Illinois run also.
There's that 2-3 zone again by the Gophers. Look for the Illini to try and attack the middle of that zone. Flashing Augustine to the high post right there. Dangerous to pick your dribble up along the baseline.
So Parktel able to give Tollickson that big rest, and he came in and hit that field goal. Tough threes, good from McBride. It's 56-47.
Arnold with the nice screen against that 2-3 zone at the top, and you can screen a zone. The draw and kick for the open three.
(56-47), 9.5 minutes here.
When you look at the Illini in the tournament, Brent, the key is going to be McBride and Pruitt, Jamar Smith, the development of Brian Randall. As they continue to improve, the Illini are a very dangerous team come March Madness. They can't do it alone. They're going to need those other players to step up and join the party.
Here's Greer. Pull up on Smith. Still can't find it. Stampier rushed the putback. Had an open look on the left side.
Pruitt goes between the legs. Rips a rebound. Big men love to get a touch on the ball. When they do, they love to bounce it. Tired of watching guards dribble all the time. Nice skip pass. The hot potato.
D missing from the corner and into Stamper's hands.
A good look by the Illini. Bruce Weber will take that shot in rhythm.
D. Brown is over here on Greer, wants it on this side. He wants to go to work on the little man. They can't get it to him. Now they do over the top, and right away, double team Pruitt. The Illini were ready for that entry. Greer getting frustrated. And Hargrove nails another jumper. A shooter in both halves. 17 for him.
Hot hand for Hargrove. The Illini have done a tremendous job collectively, collaboratively, of shutting down Greer here. A team awareness of where he is on the floor at all times defensively.
Augustine muscles in.
Boy, silky smooth.
Now it's McBride over on Greer. And Hargrove. So we'll take a break. 7:43. 58-49, Illini.
Incoming email.
With OnStar Vehicle Diagnostics, your Chevy runs hundreds of diagnostic checks every month and emails you the results. It's like having a conversation with your vehicle.
Hey, I'm really glad we could talk like that. We should do it again.
There's no extra cost to eligible OnStar subscribers. Just press your blue OnStar button to sign up. Brand offers more vehicles with the peace of mind of OnStar.
Love me or hate me. It's one or the other. Always has been. Hate my game, my swagger, hate my fadeaway, my hunger. Hate that I'm a veteran, a champion. Hate that. Hate it with all your heart. Exact same reasons.
The world may not come with an easy button, but your business does.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by OnStar by GM. To learn more, visit OnStar.com.
58-49, and Steve, let's go back to your keys for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Well, Brent, because there wasn't one dominant team like the Illini last year, here is the formula. When you have a competitive league, this is how you win a conference champ. Not on here is the fact that Ohio State is the only team in the Big Ten that didn't have consecutive losses, and they went on the road and got some unexpected wins at Michigan, at Michigan State, at Indiana. So you add it all together, and that is why they're about to close in on a Big Ten title.
2 victories away. Tomorrow night in Evanston, they take on Northwestern, go home and close out Purdue, right? In Columbus, that is their final regular season game, Coach?
That's right.
Well, Greer, just to give you 3 shots in this half. He's missed all of them. He's been unable to get back to the free throw line. He was 6 of 7 on the line in the first half. So shutting Greer down has been huge. And now Randall will take a crack at him. Over the ball.
Still plenty of time. Minnesota doesn't have to force the action, Brent. They did a nice job throughout this game of probing the good matchups, penetration opportunities, but not forcing.
Augustine picked up that personal, and Hargrove has been their main scorer. McBride over on him. Greer muscling in against Randall, and he gets the bounce. His first field goal of the second half. And the grandparents watching here. 7-point difference right now, 58-51. That powerhouse that was Oak Hill Academy in high school, Vincent Greer once lit him up. But out of the Raleigh area, Augustine foul. I believe that's going to be Tollickson. Yes, it is.
Going back on Ohio State, Brent, the Buckeyes actually lost at Indiana, but won at Michigan and won at Michigan State. And those were 2 games, if you look at the schedule going into the Big Ten, you wouldn't have expected as automatic W's. There are no gimmies in the Big Ten, but in particular at Michigan State, at Michigan this year with Tommy Amaker's team.
Our bracketologist has 7 Big Ten teams in tournament right now. Indiana getting in by virtue of that win at home against Michigan State on Sunday. They became the 7th team. That's at the moment, of course. Still a lot of games to be played. Pruitt up with the left hand.
Sean Pruitt just continues to improve. Playing with a lot of confidence, showing some moxie with his passing, his recognition on the floor. That's the exciting thing about having young players that continue to get better. I think that's why Kansas is going to be so dangerous. Bill Self with a nice team there that continues to improve out of the Big 12.
Stripped by McBride. Loose ball. Illini. So McBride did the job defensively. Illini up 9.
What an advantage to have Augustine, 2 players that played in the championship game last year against North Carolina, and have them on the floor in late game situations.
Here is D. He's 0 of 3 this half.
There's a little 2-man game between those two. The security blanket for Bruce Weber.
Augustine's got an open look to Pruitt. And Puckdell got all ball that time. Stampier, a 2. Scored a 2. 60-53.
Big shot by Stamper. Illinois a little slow there in transition D of finding the ball and getting out to a shooter.
And there were 4 defenders on 5 because Pruitt was on his butt down here. Augustine slips free, and no, traveling is called. What?
Boy, a good find by Augustine, but excellent rotation. A clean swipe at the ball.
Led to this look from Stamper. Now the Gophers back at him. The barnyard is rocking here in the barn. for three. Yes! The transfer makes it a 4-point game, 60-56.
Little senior magic, Brent, at Williams Arena.
It's college basketball, folks. We're just hours away from the month of March, and the madness is upon us.
Back to that two-man game out high. D. Brown waves off Augustine.
Here comes Hargrove.
Intentional.
D. Brown will take the intentional on him.
No, they're not.
Hillary's not going to call it an intentional.
Boy, damn Munson,
and Munson
not happy.
Can't believe it. Coach Munson is furious. He said he wrapped him up. Coach, got to agree with you this time.
At GMAC Real Estate, we don't sell dream houses. We sell houses to people with dreams. So before asking, or Victorian, we ask about your goals, your needs, and then commit to serving your needs in writing. People like this so much, they've given our premier service agents an overwhelming 94% satisfaction rating. So who are you? We want to know. GMAC Real Estate. Service you deserve, people you trust.
I thought we were here for a meeting.
We are.
So why are you on your laptop?
I'm emailing you. Check your inbox.
Now? We can talk. It's a private club.
As private as our network.
I'll check my inbox.
Privacy. Powered by Cisco.
This is Gary Poole, a genial guy from Trenton, New Jersey. Gary's been married for almost 10 years, but until a recent trip to McDonald's, didn't know it. Gary had fresh brewed premium roast coffee with his McGriddles, and it was like he was seeing her for the very first time.
He had no idea we were married.
Gary thought she was cute, so he...
Newlyweds all over again.
Start your morning with richer, bolder premium roast coffee and add a warm, tasty McGriddles. Wake up and smell your life.
I hope there aren't any other wives.
This is Stephen A. Smith. Tonight on Quite Frankly, is Omar Minaya making the Mets amazing again? I'll talk to the New York general manager about that and more. 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Pacific. Now back to the game.
It is Super Tuesday, presented by Lexus. And a reminder to be with us for Throwdown Thursday, presented by IBM. Wisconsin, Michigan State, as the battle for the Big Ten regular season title continues from East Lansing, Michigan. The end zone will be alive. And here's the replay. Steve, what'd you think? Was it
the Illini and D. Brown may have caught a break here. That left hand right there could have easily been called out.
Here's what's at stake. The Buckeyes, 2 wins away from claiming the outright title in Evanston tomorrow night to play Northwestern. Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin still with a chance. Gonna need help. First things first for the Illini. The seniors are back on the floor now for the Gophers. This is the lineup that started. Cocktail with 4 fouls steps out. And Stamp here, an offensive foul. Wow. A turnover, and it's Illinois ball.
Tough sequence for Dan Munson and the Gophers.
That's the 6th.
2 consecutive tough whistles.
We've got 6 team fouls. I believe he just said. Randall, pick and pop. Cut off by Stamper. Back now to Brown.
Active Gopher defense. Moving their feet. Good help and rotation. Switching.
Last night in the barn for these 5 fellows playing D for the Gophers. 5 on the shot now. Randall steps out, and it'll be Smith. Yes, the 3-ball. The young gunner from Peoria.
A freshman, an assassin from long range, and he hits them in bunches. A good extra passing, recognizing that a shooter, Smith, was open, willing to give that ball up.
McBride against Greer, and Greer gets to the baseline to score. Now, Joe Lunardi, our bracketologist, says at the moment he believes 7 Big Ten teams are in the NCAA tournament. There are his projected. The Buckeyes sitting with a 2, Illinois 3, Iowa 4, Michigan State 5, Wisconsin 7, Michigan 9, and Indiana checks in as a 10 seed at the moment. And for more on this, folks, dial up ESPN.com. And now, Steve, let's take a look at it by conference. And what do you think about this?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think the Southeastern Conference, one of the underrated leagues in America, Brent. They've got a lot of teams playing well at the right time of the year. When you look at LSU and Arkansas and Alabama, Florida has hit a little bit of a lull. Second win, Brent.
Yeah, but how about the Missouri Valley with more teams in right now than the ACC? I don't know if that can hold up. Big win tomorrow night down in Tallahassee. Yeah, but that's pretty impressive.
I think the ACC will still get 5, potentially 6. They could still do some damage in the conference tournament down the stretch here.
All right, championship week, of course, is coming up. 40 championships will be decided on ESPN of channels. That is, of course, when the entire family is not covering Duke and North Carolina.
We've got that Duke game covered. We're going to cover the hot dogs, the concession stands, how to make a hot dog in Cameron Indoor Stadium. We'll be on it. Caramel corn. Coach K getting dressed the day of the game. We'll have it all.
63-58, 22. One of the great venues in college basketball, the Barn, Minnesota. Five on the shot now for D. Brown. Got to go. Off the dribble, brings it in. Blocking foul is called against Minnesota.
Excellent clock management. The actions when you have to lead the clock. Illinois goes deep into the possession. D. Brown gets the benefit again of the doubt on the call. Stamper rotates up. Looked as though he was set. May have been sliding the feet some, but he was straight up and down in terms of verticality. The question was he moving when Brown was in midair? I'll tell you what, this officiating crew doesn't miss many. As good as it gets. Final Fours. Hillary with multiple Final Fours and national title games, and Welmer regional finals. A veteran in the NCAA will get a Final Four before his career is over.
So D. Brown with his first point of the half, and he made it happen. Off the dribble, he attacked, worked his way to the free throw line. He was the aggressor. Inside of 2 minutes to go now. Minnesota will not beat it. Now they have young Frazier on Greer. Vincent takes it to the paint, doubled up. Boone for 3, not this time, and Frazier off the bench snatches the rebound. Now D. Brown will run a little clock. Here's that senior leadership.
Illinois may have to foul here, go for a turnover, and then foul.
Yeah, you think Minnesota might create a foul there, huh, Steve?
They're going to use the entire clock again.
Coach Weber up over there across the way.
Illinois, a poor free throw shooting team at only 62%. I'm surprised Minnesota not fouling earlier and putting them at the line.
D. Brown off iron, tracked down, and D. Brown collided with Boone that time, and he came in and fouled him. Got there just a fraction of a second late. So the Illini with 14 straight wins against Minnesota. Coach Munson, the Fighting Illini.
And let's face it, not many teams have in recent years when you look at Lon Kruger's run, Bill Self's run, now Bruce Weber, outstanding coaches playing at championship level basketball. Michigan State obviously having their way in the conference. Bo Ryan and the Badgers have had great success, and Illinois right there. Those are the three teams that have dominated in Big Ten.
The front end is so critical, and he knocked down the first one. Steve, to follow up on that point, Bruce Weber is 86-14.
Time for a pay raise.
Whoa, 86-14, folks. That's doing it big time.
Oh, he's got 3 daughters, going to be going to school. He needs a pay raise, Brett.
1 minute to play.
You want to
walk? Yanks it away. Munson can't believe it.
He's going to get a technical if he's not careful here. Thought he had a 10-second violation as well.
And the Illini lead at 67-59 on the Randall hoop. And now the Gophers have got to start firing. Greer is on the free throw line, and he has been unable to get there here in the second half.
Coach Munson besides himself down the stretch, feeling he has not been getting a favorable whistle. Wanted the 10-second call right there. Backcourt violation.
Coach Weber wants a 30. Talk about it over there. Now, guess what I picked up on my NBA travels over the weekend? We've heard about Mike Montgomery with the Golden State Warriors in his second year, and we've heard Oregon rumbles, right? You and I have heard that. Well, I've heard some Indiana rumbles through the NBA. If Coach Montgomery decides that after a couple of years he had such great success at Stanford, if he decides that he wants to leave the NBA, do not rule out Indiana. You know, it has been rumors so far, Steve Alford. But there are some other names starting to pop up now.
Well, Mike Montgomery, he's become accustomed to that Bay Area lifestyle, living in Atherton, pretty swanky area. He's got a beautiful home there. But I think he's got some years left in him in terms of college basketball. And I think as well as he's done in the NBA and putting Golden State back in a competitive situation, I think he's a teacher meant to be on a college campus.
Yeah, there are some Gopher fans who are running up the white flag. Going to get home for the 10 o'clock news. 67-59, 35 seconds to go. Here's Vincent Greer, his last night. Most of the fans, though, here at the barn are going to stay and give these seniors one final send-off when it's over. This is the last night for Vincent Greer. Again, unless they have a home game, I want to repeat that in the NIT, because remember, they start on campus.
A team that could win some games in the NIT. They'll be dangerous in Conseco Fieldhouse come Big Ten tournament time. Not an easy out.
And of course, there's still the dream of winning the Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis. You've always got that shot to earn your way into the NCAA tournament. One of the great things about the conference tournaments for the underdogs, and there the young man Zach Pucktel has fouled out of this game. He's going to get a huge ovation. Number 32. Little things, folks, and he's about to leave here. Last Big Ten game. The chief export of Pucktel is pain, and Mom and Dad, again, in case you weren't with us, they're paying his way. He came here from Harvard. He wanted to taste big-time athletic experience. He'll go back to the yard, get his degree. He'll play rugby back at Harvard.
Also, Jason Smith under the ball game.
Smith steps up to the free throw line. 26 seconds to go. The Illini are going to come away with a big win and hope that the Wildcats can upset Ohio State tomorrow night in Evanston. What a setting that could be. Greer sticks with it.
Vincent Greer with a basket.
Timeout.
Timeout, Minnesota.
And a reminder, coming up next on SportsCenter, John Anderson and Steve Levy. They're going to tell you about some bubble busters, small big conference bubbles perhaps, and the NFL labor talks break off. And this one, I can't believe, folks, except I saw the picture, but it says right here, Barry Bonds in drag. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but I wouldn't miss the picture.
Never saw the Babe or Hank Aaron in drag. But I know of. You never know with the Babe back in the day.
I was about to say, you never know about the Babe.
After a couple tall boys.
Here's your Gold Star coaches.
Reality is Mike Krzyzewski or Jim Calhoun will probably get the Coach of the Year. Jay Wright, John Calipari, a 1 seed who has a marvelous season, usually gets the Coach of the Year. But those are 3 coaches right there, Brent, who deserve consideration when you look at the fact their teams were not expected to have such special years. Roy Williams in particular, top 7 scorers, lost.
Held ball. And the possession arrow gives it back to the Illini. Final 14 seconds. 5. Well, after that horrendous start in the month of January, the one thing you've got to give the Golden Gophers and Coach Munson credit for, this team did not quit. They regrouped, played much better.
3 wins over ranked teams here at Williams Arena.
You bet. 67-62, and they made it fun for the fans. And Gopher the Big Ten tournament next week from Indianapolis. You go back in that second half, that 10-0 run, Steve, that was a big, big move for the Illini.
We talk about spurts and runs. Thought Illinois in that stretch got the stops necessary, got some good looks at the basket. Also, their clock management down the stretch here was textbook. Got deep into shot clock possessions, finished with either a foul shooting opportunity or a high percentage look on their final possessions. That's how you put the nail in the coffin.
This Illini staff over here, we haven't given the assistants a lot of love here tonight. Wayne McLean, 5th year at Illinois. He was there. There he is, of course, legend recruiter over in the Peoria area. Jay Price in his 3rd year. Tracy Webster in his 2nd year, and Gary Nottingham in his 3rd year. There's Jay, and there's Nottingham to his left. The Brain Trust over there. They deserve a lot of credit. They work hard, those fellas.
And if there's any openings, Tracy Webster in that mix as well, in the Mid-American Conference or some of these other leagues is 3, and Dan Munson emphatic with the timeout signal. But those are coaches there. The assistants of Bruce Weber have done a nice job, who are ready, prepared to move on and run their own programs. They have the blueprint for success. They'll be great architects and program builders. Any jobs in the Midwest that open, you've got to consider that coaching staff.
Well, let's see. Missouri will be looking for a head coach. What do you hear about that? Anything, Steve?
Well, we've heard coaches like Mike Anderson at UAB, who's had a tremendous career and is a disciple of Nolan Richardson. They play that 40 minutes of hell, fast break basketball, full court pressure. And Bobby Huggins' name got thrown out there. Kevin Stallings' name, the Vanderbilt coach who was formerly at Illinois State. So there'll be some qualified candidates. That's an excellent program, great facilities, great resources, and they have some great tradition. Quinn Snyder was strong early in his career there, the first 4 years, and then going way back, Norm Stewart, a legend.
Gophers still battling away. Tucker is going to put Randall up on the free throw line here with 3.6 to go. A couple of shots coming up for him. Minnesota will be the first team this year to shoot over 50% against the Illini. And you heard Coach Munson tell Aaron at the intermission that's not exactly what he wanted to do, was get into a shootout with these guys.
No tempo, so spurtability, the ability to score in spurts. This Illini team has the anchors of Augustine and D. Brown, but don't underestimate Jamar Smith's development, Richard McBride's development, Brian Randall's development, Sean Pruitt's development. This team continues to get better. Their quickness, their team defense.
Vincent Greer, graduate of Bonner Academy. That's back in Raleigh, North Carolina. His coach back there was Marvin Reed. Played JC and then transferred in here. .136 points here tonight, more than Illinois wins it by 6. So Bruce Weber and the Illini do a good job here tonight. They're still alive for a share of the Big Ten championship, pending what happens to the Buckeyes, who tomorrow night have got a big win in Evanston. So for Steve Lavin, Aaron Andrews, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Brett Musburger. And a reminder now, coming up next is Sports Center. So let's go back to John Anderson.